Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
After a bomb threat shut down the Walmart in Detroit Lakes yesterday, police in Grand Forks are warning people about a nationwide bomb threat scam that has already hit 2 area businesses.
Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin joins us now with how scammers are trying to rip off business owners. Ryan?
Mike, Andrea, 2 Grand Forks businesses received threats that a bomb would demolish their business if they didn't wire money to an unknown source. Turning Point, a health and wellness center, and the Bowdoin apartment complex received bomb threats from printers in their buildings. The threats said that the businesses had to wire money and to not contact the police, in one case, threatening to blow up an entire city block. The police were contacted and searched the buildings to find nothing. Police say that the printers were connected to an unsecured network that could have been hacked from anywhere in the world. It appears that these threats are part of a large-scale random hoax trying to scam businesses out of money across the country.
You know, one of the commonalities that we see between this and other hoaxes or scams is that they want the money wired, and that's always a red flag to us.
Police say they always take bomb threats seriously. If you get a threat on the phone, you should try to get as much information as possible, including the type of explosive device and the location it might be. You should always contact the police if you get a threat like this and call 911 if you see a suspicious item left alone. Mike, Andrea?
All right, thank you, Ryan. As for the call made at the Detroit Lakes Walmart, officials say they're looking at a felony charge for the person or people responsible for what they call a terroristic threat.
In Fergus Falls, the police department is asking for your help tracking down a suspect in a shoplifting case. They posted this picture to their Facebook page from an incident on May 25th. If you have any information that helps identify this man, you're asked to contact Officer Brooks Johnson. The phone number also on your screen, 218-332-5514.
Police in Warroad, Minnesota tell us they're investigating a shooting incident from over the weekend. This video was sent to us by a viewer. In the video, you see a car drive by the home and you can hear a gunshot. A little later in the video, a second gunshot is heard. It happened in a neighborhood on Lake Street Northwest. Police say they recovered 2 bullets from the incident. If anyone has any information, you're asked to contact the Warroad Police Department at this number, 218-386-2053.
The man who was thrown from the hood of a car in South Fargo has died, and the woman police say is responsible is now facing a manslaughter charge. Police tell Valley News Live that 33-year-old Joshua Fonder died from injuries he sustained in the incident last Monday. Fonder was found lying in the street just north of the Bowler on South University Drive. Police say he either was hit by a car and knocked onto its hood or jumped on it and fell from it. 27-year-old Alicia Johnson is in the Cass County Jail. Investigators say that she was driving the car and took off after the crash. They say Johnson and Fodder knew each other, and this was not considered a random act of violence.
1 person is dead and 2 others are hurt after an ATV crash over the weekend. Deputies with the Cass County, Minnesota Sheriff's Office say a Polaris Ranger was going down a home driveway when it veered off the road and hit a tree. The driver and 2 passengers were all thrown out. 42-year-old Steve Verville of Pequot Lakes was pronounced dead at the scene. Both the passengers were taken to a Brainerd hospital. There is no word yet on their conditions.
A Minnesota man is fighting for his life after a motorcycle crash over the weekend that officials say involved alcohol. The Minnesota State Patrol says 69-year-old Victor Laney of Monaga was driving on Highway 87 near the southern end of Long Lake in Hubbard County when he drove off the road. Laney was thrown from the motorcycle when he hit the ditch and is being treated for life-threatening injuries. Authorities say he was wearing a helmet at the time of the crash.
We've been hearing about warmer weather coming this way. It just hasn't quite arrived yet. Hutch is here to let us know what's expected tonight. Hutch?
Well, it's not easy being patient, but we're starting to see the results as we speak. Clearing skies out across North Dakota this evening. Still some clouds and a few sprinkles through northwest Minnesota. Here's a look at temperatures then as we focus in 65 in Devil's Lake, 67 Grand Forks, and we are at our high temperature for the day in Fargo as well at 63. Look at that, low 50s from Badette through Bemidji with scattered sprinkles and showers. This evening in Fargo, the northwest wind will decrease, clouds will decrease, temperatures will follow suit. And for some, bite my tongue, I must say it again, a chance of frost out west from Stutsman County down through Dickey and Lemoore. We have a frost advisory. Cover your freshly planted tomatoes. Warmer air is on its way. I'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast in a few moments.
You're just the messenger.
That's me.
Yeah. Thank you, Hutch.
An angry parent called our whistleblower hotline saying there was another para attacked at a Fargo school. We looked into it. The district told us about 2 incidents last Thursday at Washington Elementary. A para's nose was fractured after being hit by a special needs student. In a separate incident, another special needs student kicked a door in the school's entranceway, breaking the glass. A letter was sent to parents today by Washington Elementary's principal saying in part, "We will continue to do our very best to keep all students and staff safe at school." The district tells us they're looking at adding more support personnel in schools, reevaluating training procedures, and changing incident reporting at the start of next school year.
North Dakota's universities and colleges had to deal with a 20% budget reduction this year as legislators made cuts due to a slumping oil and agriculture economy in the state. Valley City State University President Dr. Tisa Mason said for VCSU, the allotment reflected a budget cut of $5 million for the university. She said 20 teaching positions were cut, a majority through retirements. However, 6 positions were cut permanently. Mason said despite the gloomy news, there are a number of positive things that are happening now at the university. Enrollment set a record, and funding during the annual VCSU scholarship auction increased by more than $10,000 compared to last year's auction.
Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton announced late this afternoon that he will sign into law the 9 so-called budget bills in order to forestall a bitter June showdown over a state government shutdown. The government, however, says he will not sign the tax bill because of what he says are very major objections with certain provisions in it. Earlier today, legislative leaders were in Moorhead touting the budget bill and hoping that the governor would sign needed legislation to avoid the shutdown.
I think the road and bridge infrastructure funding that we did is going to be a huge benefit to greater Minnesota. I think the ag property tax stuff that we did in the tax bill, we've got exempting Social Security income for seniors. I mean, I could just go right on down the line on the things that we've done that we think are great for greater Minnesota.
The bonding bill ensures an investment of $988 million in public works projects across Minnesota, including Moorhead, which gets $42 million for that money needed for an underpass south of the high school.
Trophy-seeking anglers have been busy this spring, turning in what the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources calls a boatload of applications for the state's record fish program. The applications include catches of rare species like short-nosed gar, lake sturgeon, golden red horse, and the quillback carp sucker. A representative with the DNR says this is by far the wildest, craziest spring we've ever had. The DNR recommends anglers become versed in record fish guidelines and be ready to take the required photos and go through the correct procedures for submitting the record. They can find current records and guidelines for each type of state record on the DNR website.
Residents in a Moorhead neighborhood should expect delays over the remainder of the week. Roadwork will begin tomorrow on 4th Street South between 12th and 13th Avenue. That stretch of road will be closed for sanitary sewer repairs. The closure is expected to be in place for 5 days, weather permitting. City officials advise drivers to find alternate routes and to expect congestion in that area.
And many of us are ready to dive into summer. And the Fargo Park District is getting ready by opening up its outdoor pools next Monday, June 5th. The Park District runs 5 pools throughout the city. For locations and prices for pool passes, you can visit fargoparks.com.
Finally found something the word skeeter in it doesn't make you itch. Details later on Valley News Live at 6.
Gloomy day for the first half, but now heading into the afternoon, some breaks in the clouds as temperatures are shooting up. The nicest time of the day right now. Your hour-by-hour forecast shows there's some summer-like weather on the way. Details are next.